And we are live. We are live only on YouTube here because we're going to do it in X Spaces while being live streamed here as well. So to get maximum coverage, just want to do a few testing here and there. Make sure everything is working right. All right. Can you guys hear me? Make sure. Just want to double check everything if you guys can hear me. Come on, come on, come on. Wow, this is taking a bit longer than I thought. Okay, there we go. 1 second. I think you guys should hear me. Yes, you guys can hear me. Let's flip and go, and I can see your comments coming in. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we have, what is it, 10 minutes before we can start the X Spaces. I want to talk to y'all first before we get to that. All right. My God, I suggest test the leaps. Oh, bro, not right now. No, right now, the stock just went crazy on Friday, and it's just gonna be in flip insane. I'm getting messages on X right now about the space, what's going on. Higher, I can't just perfect. Things are falling into place wonderfully. Okay, so let's just get okay. 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. People need to relax on X. They're all excited. Sheesh, it's gonna be fun. Okay. Oh, almost $400 an after hours talk, dude. It's insane. Is it? I was planning to make a separate video talking about this, but I'm a little bit under the weather, and we got this X Spaces coming. Um, so I want to be full energy for that. I'll make that video for tomorrow. But it's absolutely a sheesh moment. It's crazy what happened. Sheesh. If you guys are following on X, I don't know what you guys are doing, but X is a yeah, flipping very active on X. Yo, bro, how you guys doing? Hey, how's hope you're doing great, Dominic. How is life? By the way, I'm not live on X. I'm only live here on YouTube because we're doing an X Spaces. So it doesn't make sense for me to be live on X as well when we're gonna do a live session with X with Spaces. And this is for the people on YouTube that don't want to go on X Spaces, which I do recommend you guys to go on X Spaces as well, so you guys can actually request to talk. So that'll be a sheesh moment. How is life? Life is all right. Life's okay. Good afternoon. How you doing? It's good evening here. You know when delivery numbers will come out? Yeah, that'll come out in the first few days, couple days of January, and I have an estimate coming up soon. Give it a couple days or so. So yeah, it'll be members first, by the way. Then it'll be open for everyone to view it and such. Pull back in January, most likely. I think people are waiting to sell. So yeah, I think there will be some sort of pullback, which will be okay because I do want to buy more shares on the cheap. It's getting hard to dollar cost average Tesla. I'm not gonna lie. So Pejjy Tesla options have printed like crazy. It's crazy, dude. Man, it's insane. We need more. Yeah, we need to buy more of the pullback. 100% Pejjy Tesla investor here. Been watching you for 2 years. Not related question, but what do you do? Work at Kuwait? How do you get a job? Well, it's a family thing. I have a family. It's a family business here. So that is the sheesh moment here. That's why I'm here. Otherwise, I want to be here in Kuwait. What the hell am I doing here in Kuwait? Dude, there's nothing to do here. There's no life here. Just work. Literally, like I work 18 hours a day. Almost maybe recently it's been 20 hours a day. It's been crazy, but I work here. That's all I do. That's all I do. And then summertimes I come back home to Toronto and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I do here in Kuwait. And sheesh, I'll make a separate video on that. Different. I'm thinking to make members only exclusive video starting next week. So just videos for members only. So if you guys aren't a member on my YouTube yet, I don't know what you guys are doing, because those you guys get early access to videos, and then you guys will get exclusive videos just for that. Whether things get personal or not, whether we're talking more about Tesla. So if you guys remember, you have a lot of shishy things coming your way next week and the weeks coming after that. It's going to be an awesome, awesome thing. And I'm very excited because I love my members. I want to give my members the most as they can, even though it's only $2 a month. I want to give my members the most they can because I'm trying to build a community here. So it's exciting stuff for members. What's the time? Okay, we got time. Thanks for helping me hold through the hard times, dude. It's amazing. LFG. Hey, Pejjy, do you know we still have a chance to add more? I just get from college, still earning a salary. My target is 550 at least. Yeah, mine is 575 end of 2025. Look, nothing goes up straight all the time. I think Tesla's 300 is the new 200. So if we do see a pullback, it'll be in the low 300s for sure. But I don't see it going lower than that. It's just too many things are going on. Too many things. Such an awesome week for Tesla. It's a beautiful week. I'll make a video about it separately. Slight pullback in January after job reports. No, it's just January is usually a sell-off year because no one is selling right now due to taxes, right? So if they're gonna do any selling, it's gonna happen in January naturally. That's why. Tesla stock 1K. Oh, thanks for the super chat, man. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Randall. Tesla stock 1K per share, end up to K. I mean, oh, I mean, if they do announce the Tesla bots, oh my god, oh my god. Sure, I'll start. So I'm just messaging people on X for X. I'll start in a few minutes. All right, it's exciting. It's gonna be awesome. Um, so what was I going to put? Yeah, 1,000 per share. Only it'll happen if it's if anything related to a pure to a bot, maybe even a cyber cap. It's gonna be a sheesh moment. Great week, bigger dude. It's man, 2025 is gonna be flipping amazing. I think it's gonna be Tesla's gonna be the best selling, sorry, best performance stock in 2025, in my opinion. What is a good time to add in bulk when there's about 10 to 20% correction? That's in my opinion. What is your work? I do a lot of stuff actually, but I take care of the online store for our business here. I also do TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't want to say what company I'm in or working or what the name of the company is. I'll do it for members only later, but I have to keep this stuff on the DL, on the low key. What's going on, dog face pony soldier? Oh my god, that's your face, dog faced pony soldier. Fun. Strong work, thank you. I love this stuff. Is it too late to buy now? Well, depends how long you want to hold for. If you're holding for 10 years, it's never too late. I hate Trudeau 60%. Dude, it's ridiculous, man. I'm honestly thinking to like leave Canada and go to the US, Texas mainly. Donald slowly, yep. All-time high Monday. Dude, it's gonna be insane. Do you see it hitting 7,000 by 2027? Dude, no, that's too much. Maybe 2,500 by 2027. I have to update my thing now. I have Cern Basher coming on the channel in a couple weeks talking about this. So wait for that. That's gonna be flipping awesome. Cern Basher for the second time coming on the channel. It's gonna be flipping great. What else we got here? You're not crazy. Oh, thank you, Randall. Again, 2,000 per share by 2027. Yeah, I can see that. That can probably happen because 2027 Cybercap is going to be rolling out. Then we have more news on the Optimist, and we have the energy thing, and then the margins, and then that's smack in the middle of Trump's policy and stuff. Oh man, it's going to be flipping awesome. Pejjy works for OnlyFans, dude. If I were working for OnlyFans, I wouldn't be here in Kuwait, dude. I'll tell you that much. It's flipping awesome. Okay, so dog faced again. They have way too many catalysts, and we'll talk about that in the spaces as well. Let me see if I can start spaces, and you guys let me know if you guys can hear it, because that is also very. And I think you guys will. I've done a thing. All right, 5 minutes. Okay, they're telling me, are you ready now? Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and share my screen, and we can get this go. All right, there we go. There is this little X. I'm about to click start, but before we, no, I'm not going on X. I'll be live streaming the X Spaces here, so you guys can hear it. If you guys want to participate in it, head over to X, go to my user, or go to my account, or Curious Pejjy, and I have it as the first thing. You guys can join as well. I'm just trying to get my co-host to to what's the time? 9:56. We're supposed to start in 4 minutes. So give me a second to figure this out. Can you please pin the link as well to X? Oh yeah, sure. Let me get that link for ya. Okay, copy it, and let me come here and pin it to X. How do I pin it here? I've never done this before. Here, bam. That's the link. Maybe I can. Now, how do I even pin this thing? There we go. It's right there. It's in the comments. You guys can copy and paste it. It's there. I'm just waiting for my co-host to give me the okay so we can start. Because last time we did it last week, and I posted the whole thing on X on YouTube. But it was a lot of work to post this. So I'm like, you know what? It's better to go live, and it's much funner too. And this way, the whole thing's there. And I'll have it time stamped as well, so later on, people don't have to like, ping pong back and forth so many times. You start 5 minutes early. I think we should start. I'll give it another minute, and then we can start. Just want to make sure everything is gonna be okay. Everything. Click the three dots, and maybe it'll allow you. Yeah, no, the dots doesn't. Delete, put user in timeout, or ban. I mean, come on. I can't do that right now. Yeah, I've never pinned it before. Maybe I have to do it in the back end of YouTube itself, not on StreamYard. All right. Anyways, it looks like we can start. So we'll to get some people. So let's start. Let me know if you guys can hear it. That's what I'm more curious to know. All right. Let's see. Allow this time. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear it. All right. Did we start? Perfect. I think we've started. There we go. Okay. I think there we go. All right. Okay, good. Now I'm gonna invite my co-host. She has to join first. She has to join, then I can invite her. How y'all doing, everyone? This is exciting. This is exciting. All right. Just waiting for my co-host to come on so we can do that. Come on. It's post. It's live. Gonna wait for you guys to come on for a bit. Waiting for Fast Guy to come so she can help me out with this. How y'all doing, man? What a week. What a week. Already getting requests. I'll get you guys. Don't worry. I'll get you. Just give me a second. Let everyone come in and I'll get you guys. All right. Joseph is in. Good stuff. This is good stuff. All right. I have to approve. We can approve. Why not? You guys are now speakers too. Joseph.
Can you guys hear me?
There we go. I can hear you guys.
All right. Good morning.
Nice. How are you all doing? How's everyone doing? Aha, there you are, Fast Guy. Let me put you as co-host because I do need the help. There we go. Send the invite. Done. There we go. We should be good to go now. Just want to get a good check from Fa. Usually these spaces take a while for it to, come up to get everything set up. Everything is on the go.
Excited to listen. Hope you have a good time.
Oh man, thank you for coming. It's gonna be awesome.
So much positivity lately. I'm rolling one just for you.
Sounds like fun. All right, so I'm just gonna wait for Fast Guy. But before we get into the meat of all this thing, we're also live on YouTube as
Hello,
well.
hello
Oh,
everyone.
there she is. There you are.
How's everybody doing? We close Friday on green.
Yeah. It's
I
insane.
can't imagine we get to 400 so fast. I can't imagine.
See, no, but that's the thing with Tesla, right? That's the thing how the stock is. It's like, it stays flat for a long time, and then before you know it, it runs like crazy. That's the thing that I've been trying to tell, a lot of my viewers and a lot of people on X and majority of my posts too. It's like, listen, you can't time this thing. You gotta like, just play the long game and how the stock behaves at the moment until there's some consistent EPS and growth it surges without any warning or any notice and it runs like that, and that's just how it is. So you can't time this thing. It's hard.
Exactly. Keep telling people we cannot time it. Stay in the market is so much more important than try to time it right, because even if you time it right, like maybe 7 or 10 times, and you miss out 3 times, and those 3 times are the one that go up $100 within that 2 weeks window, then we're screwed, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So it's a stock that you don't want to like you could I mean here's you could swing trade it. You can make good money swing trading it, but it's I mean not financial advice, but um just playing the long game, you can't go wrong with Tesla and stuff like that. But there's a lot of things that there's one well in this spaces. There's a lot of things that I do want to talk about, and of course, I want to know what you guys want to talk about as well. But one of the things that I want to be fixated on, or that I want to focus on, is this judge with the Delaware and stuff. But we can get to that later on, because I have a lot of thoughts on this. But let's just start with the week. Like, actually, before we start with that, how are y'all feeling? Like this was an insane week. Like we hit all time highs for market cap, which is insane. how
I'm
y'all
pumped.
feel?
I'm pumped. I'm pumped because of you pumped, and then I'm pumped, and then everybody pumped.
Let's go. It's insane.
106% up, baby. Let's do it.
That's insane.
I would like to say thank you everybody to join. What we say today is our thought, is our opinion. It's not a financial advice. Everybody need to do their own homework. Your money, your hard-earned money. Don't let us tell you what to do with your money. That would be very, very not good. And the one cool thing about Tesla community is we have a lot of people that do deep dive, and their knowledge is like it's a goal for you to invest your time. You listen to all of us, you do your own homework, and I'm sure you do good. So don't take it at a face value what we say, like do your own homework, time 10. If we talking about full self driving and we can shut up about it, go take a drive, go do the test drive. Don't just believe us. It's your money. Do your own homework. And welcome everybody. Um I would like to say everybody that would like to speak in the space, you guys welcome. You send a request. If I don't know you, maybe DM me. What do you want to say? We want to get this. We want to respect everybody' time. Thank you so much. Hi, friend.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think this space is
Hello, my dear. Are you talking to me or Joseph?
Talking to everybody.
Sorry, love. Go ahead, Pejjy.
Yeah. No worries, no worries. No, it's just that I think we should cap this spaces at 90 minutes, because last time we went for 2 hours, it was crazy. But I think 90 minutes is a lot is a good solid amount of time. So let's recap what happened this week, because man, this was a crazy week. So I think Monday, it's when Craig Irwin, the biggest Tesla bear, flipped, which was a glorious moment for all Tesla investors. I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the guy used to be a bull, then he became a bear. Now he's a bull again because he has no choice to be a bull. And we had this other guy, Danny Moose, I think his name was, the big short shorting Tesla. He's no longer shorting the thing. It's just absolutely madness. It's crazy. And then we have like Bank of America and Wall Street analysts increasing their price targets and stuff. So, man, it's insane. And we have the Santa Claus rally as well that's coming. Oh my God, it's been a sheesh week. But I think the biggest thing that happened this week that really doesn't matter anymore. Well, it does matter, but it doesn't matter as much anymore. Is this Delaware judge thing? How she came out and said, "Nope, we're rejecting Elon's pay package again for some BS reasons that didn't make any sense." Here's the thing: I have a lot of thoughts on this. Um, the thing with this judge is that the fact that she took this long to come back and just only reject it, and the only amendment that she did was okay, you don't have to pay these guys, these lawyers, $5.6 billion in stock, which was very stubborn on her end. She came, she changed it. She's now saying, okay, pay half of that, but 15% of it, which is $345 million, and pay it either in stock or cash, which tells me that she really did mess up. Like, she really is trying to tell Tesla, look, listen, don't appeal, don't go any further. I'm giving you a way out. $345 million for you guys is nothing. Obviously, they shouldn't get one penny from Tesla or from us, not even a cent. These guys should go to hell. But the fact that she came out and said, yeah, 345 million, pay these guys in cash or stock, um, just don't appeal. Like, that's the message that I got. I don't know about you guys, but let me know what you guys think. Like, but that's the message that I got, which is just ridiculous. And one thing, man, RIP Delaware. That's all I have to say about that. Like, she really, if this goes to the Supreme Court, and I think it's going to get appealed there, the case has no legs, man. It just doesn't have much legs. The reasoning is stupid. She says that Elon Musk was the controller of Tesla. So what she's saying is that he controlled everything, and then he made the pay package or something like that, which is just absolutely wrong and not right. It's just incorrect. Which CEO in the world will take the compensation deal that Elon took? 10x the company and don't get paid at all if you don't 10x the company, which is just absolutely insane. And then she comes out and says, you don't deserve it, even though you're more than 10x the company. And it just doesn't make any sense when you look at it. And it really does piss me off. And I made a video about this on YouTube, how Elon Musk checkmated her. Either way, the best thing she could have done is approved it, but then that still damaged Delaware's reputation. But she's not approving it, and she's actually rejecting it, which is really, it's an RIP. It's an RIP for Delaware. Go ahead, Joseph.
Well, one thing I'm happy about is even after this so-called bad news, the stock did not crash. So people realize this is completely nonsense. We have a case on our side. We can do appeal, even if we have more leverage from Elon working so closely with the government. You can say, well, it's a state government level thing. Yeah, but he got a federal level connection here. So there's always leverage. I think that on our side this time, and we all know that the Delaware is very closely working with Biden administration. So I don't consider her a judge. I consider her a elected activist. So if I can see that, and I'm sure majority of people also see that. So the stock did not crash, which is a great thing. And there's so many positive news that this Delaware situation pretty much get buried under a bunch of good news. So I tend to focus on the good things ahead of us rather than keep getting angry about some activists doing stupid things. I'm sure that the Tesla board will fight to the end. So I'll leave that to them, and I just support them along the way. So I'm not gonna let that bother me.
I agree. I agree. If we go to try, and of course Elon have Trump ear right now. It's definitely helping him, But this case is an eye opening for a lot of corporation in Delaware. Everybody gonna look at this and say, let's get the fuck out. Like, no, you're not a judge, you're activist. And this is an abuse of power. You have your power and you abuse it. You lost the respect. You lost the respect of the whole country if they look at this. So this is my thought.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're seeing other companies looking at this and double thinking twice about going to Delaware. With I think Lemonade was the one that came and spoke out and says that, yeah, we're looking at this case very carefully, and there were some other cases as well that they're actually thinking of leaving too, because what's the point of not letting your shareholders control the company when an activist anyways. Oh my God, it's just ridiculous. Yes, Jennifer.
Hey guys. So here's my thoughts on this. One, Unfortunately, Delaware, it's very advantageous tax-wise to incorporate in Delaware.
I think you just got cut out.
I think we lost you, Jen. Can you?
Yeah, Jen.
You probably need to leave and come back again, my friend. All right. I would like to, when we wait for Jen, I would like to talk about the new catalyst, which is everybody excited about, is FSD 13. So the dude that the money manager,
So
he's
have the same risk as Musk, unfortunately. However, you guys have pointed out there's some major disadvantages, like, activist judges and, government that it does not support American, growth, economic growth, because Tesla's a 100% American.
Oh boy. Okay. I think we lost Jen. Jennifer. Okay, there we go. Got you back.
Hey, am I still here? I don't know.
Yeah, you're here, but you kept like cutting out, and then you just went off the rails. But it's okay.
No, I think what happened is I'm having really bad connection ever since I went in. So I'll probably have to go out and come back in. So just keep going.
okay. Thank you. So FSD 13 is actually the turning point. The that guy Brad, I don't know how to say his last name. He's a fund manager. He dumped his Uber stock and he went all in Tesla stock. You guys heard about that? What you think about that?
Oh man, yeah, I made a video about this too. It was well, here's the thing. We long-term investors knew this from the beginning, right? It's just now he's waking up. He's seeing the the progress and stuff, and now he's going in now. And with the version 13, my God, here I'm here in Kuwait, right? And so we don't have any Teslas or anything like that. So I can't really experience what version 13 is. But when I look online and look at what, like for example, AI driver, right? Oh my God, the thing looks really it's impressive, and I can't wait to see this thing go to scale. But I don't know. That's my thoughts. I mean, for me, I have limited knowledge on this. All I know is that it's on the new. It's in the building where there's a supercluster and stuff. But for someone who doesn't, I mean, I don't drive. I don't see Teslas here in Kuwait daily, unfortunately. Nor do I experience it on a daily basis. So I don't have much info. But that's my
It's
thoughts.
so interesting. As an Uber investor, he should have known that for years. But I mean, he got to be look for competitors on a daily basis. So I don't think he did one day just wake up and realize, oh, FSC 13 is amazing. I better dump all the stock. No, I think he didn't say anything because he wanted to get rid of all the Uber stock before he and then jump into the Tesla stock before he announced the departure. I think it's just not being completely open about history. But that's just my point of view, though.
What I take from this, obviously, I'm an opinion of one. If you are willing to dump Uber stock and went all in Tesla, you see something. You see some big disruptive. You see some new coming. So Uber, the most of the expense is to the driver. So one day, if it's no driver, that's a big piece of it. That's my thought. And obviously, I think he went to the Robotaxi, the We Robot event, and he
Yeah.
see something that us outside, we only see it from the video. He saw something he sees coming. So
Yeah,
that's my
completely
thought.
agree.
And he definitely turned a lot of people in mainstream media to Tesla. I think this is a very, very beginning of the the V-robot boom, like either the Cybercab or the Optimus. This is like the beginning of it. That's my
Yeah,
thought.
I was going to mention. You mentioned 1010 event. We all know that we have to wait for like an hour and a half to line up and get into the Warner Brothers studio on that day. So I happened to line up and wait to get into the gate, into the studio. Right behind me are two institutional investor, hedge fund manager. So I know for a fact Tesla invite a bunch of institutional investor and fund manager to that event so they can experience FSD firsthand. They just line up behind me and talking to them. They're not really aware how good it is. So they it's the first time they get to try it out. And I'm really glad they get an opportunity to do it because 13 is um, level above 12. I'm on 12, but looking at the video in 13 is a whole different game. So glad.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the Optimus thing in 2025, I think. Well, I think 2025 is a year of robotaxis, and getting that launched. I know a lot of people are talking about the year of Optimus. I don't know. I think that's more of a 2026 kind of thing because there's a lot of work that needs to be with Optimus. Yes, I think they're gonna have by end of, I think this is the end of this year, or was it end of next year, that they're gonna have 1,000 bots in the factory. I think it was until end of next year, 2025. Tesla's going to have about 1,000 bots into their factory, which will help to reduce their cogs, by the way, which is pretty important. But I don't think there's going to be that much of a significant move with Optimus in 2025. Again, it's more of a robotaxi year than anything. What we will see is a dedicated day, in my opinion, a dedicated day for the Optimus. I think we'll have another type of AI day where it's going to showcase, the future of factories and how the bots and humanoid robots can actually change the things. I think that's what we'll see in 2025. But in terms of action-wise, to see deployment of new products and new services, that's, I think, robotaxis on the top of that list, and of course the take rate of FSD increasing as well, with the affordable models coming there, which helps that as well. So that's what I think. 2025 is, and energy. You can't forget about energy because now you have 2 megapack factories going crazy. I do think they're going to announce a 3rd megapack factory sometime next year, so they can be ready for 2026 as well, somewhere around the planet. Some people are saying Texas because the incentives are great and there's a lot of demand for it in the US, which I agree. But I think we're just very, very early with this energy stuff, in my opinion. But again, main thing is going to be the robotaxis in 2025, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. 100%. Bohemian, I know last time you tried to come here and we missed you, so you're here now. Speak up, my man. What you got for us?
Hey Pejjy, hey everyone. I hope you can hear me okay. Just want to say hello. This is my first time speaking in the space, but I just wanted to give a shout out to you actually, Pejjy, before I just make a comment on some of the things you guys are saying. I really started my investing journey a little over 2 years ago. Listening to you, Amit, Farsad, a bunch of other people in this chat, really educated me on my thesis and thinking about Tesla, and it was sitting at around $100 at the time. And it just didn't make sense to me that it was sitting at $100 with all of this, all of these mini startups coming to fruition in the next couple of years. And I just want to say thank you first, because that's, you guys' knowledge has allowed me to build knowledge and have independent thoughts and thesis. So it's been absolutely superb, and I thank you all for that. Keep it up. I put a post on my X feed. I think it's the second one down, about catalyst for next year. And what I'm so excited for, being into Tesla for a little over 2 years now, is just seeing all of the consolidation that comes in the company next year. We're all very forward-thinking people. We know robotaxis and the robots are what are going to make the share price completely nutty in the future. But I am super excited about the mega pack. I am so happy to see the Wall Street consensus is now being allowed to change, because under the last government, there was probably a lot of pushback for them not to change their sentiment in certain areas, but also seeing things and starting to adopt new price targets in relation to that. So the energy story is just huge for me. I think it's only going to get bigger, especially when they make more announcements and Wall Street are able to price that into the stock price, knowing that they're going to deliver within 10 months, 12 months, another factory that's going to come straight into ramp. The semi's going to ramp next year. Cybertruck's going to ramp, and it's going to expand, right? So it's now available in Canada. It will start going into other markets. A lot of market growth. There's just so many things. You can have a look at the list, but I'm just super excited about all of that. And then on top of that, all the forward-thinking things that you guys have been talking about that I still feel like people are asleep on. I've been following the FSD journey in terms of progress, and 13 just sounds insane. And here's a little story from the average car buyer. I've got a family member who I would say is they've been bought into the mainstream media about Elon Musk, let's put it that way. And they owned a Tesla. But when they bought the Tesla, Elon was loved. He was on the cover of Time magazine, the whole thing, right? Nobody really knew. He's just this nutty, creative, geeky dude. And people loved him. And my friend didn't really think about it. My family member didn't think about it. My in-law. And then obviously the narrative changed around Elon under Biden's administration. Thank God they're gone. I think that judge is a massive metaphor for the epic failure of that government. And I say that as a socially liberal person who roots for good parties. He started to shift his sentiment on Elon, shift his sentiment on Tesla, and saying, I'm not sure about Elon and all these, software in your car and stuff. And I said, look, take me out in your car. Took me out in the Tesla, went for a cruise. One of the first times I've been in a Tesla. So what do you think about this car, though? And he said, it's the best car I've ever driven, but I don't know. He just bought another one last week. Now he has two. And he still has that kind of sentiment about Elon that's wrong, and it's very much been packaged in the mainstream media. He cannot give up the product. He can't give it up. He won't drive another thing. He's got two little kids. And the safety aspect of the story in Tesla is another area that people are starting to, we all know, but we are in our little Tesla bubble when we have these chats, but people are starting to go, I just feel so incredibly safe in this car. I feel like it does so much thinking for me, even without FD. It's got so many qualities that make it feel like it's doing some work for you. With FSD, it will be doing all the work for you. And my in-law's got two young children and stuff, and he just won't drive another car. He sold his other car, which was a year old, to get another Tesla. So I just want to share that, because that, for me, hearing those stories, hearing people talk about the car that aren't petrol heads or car geeks or invested in the company, who might even have a negative portrayal of Elon, that's going to shift now. I think he's going to go from villain to maybe 10 years to be villain again, and then maybe in 10 years he'll be hero again. I mean, when you're his iconic figure, that's always going to happen. Look what they did to Trump. But he won't give up the product. And he's already bought FSD for it, even though in Europe we don't have it yet properly. It have some features, but it's not gone full FSD. And then I think there's just going to be a eureka moment for anybody who owns a Tesla and goes, do you know what? I'm probably 8 to 10 times safer with this FSD thing on, and I get a lot of my time back. But the safety story is becoming more visible in the mainstream media too, and that's just great to see. But thanks, guys. Just want to check in and give a little story there, and I'm loving the conversation.
Thank you, Bohemian. Thank you so much. Very refreshing. Thank you, my friend. Now we have Charlie. Charlie have a hand up, please.
Hi there, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect, awesome. Yeah, guys, I just wanted to say thank you again, obviously, to everybody. I see Cern Bashers in here. I wanted to give him an extra special thank you for all the analytical work that he's been putting out, obviously on the wide range of things, but something specifically that stuck out to me was the Robotaxi opportunity as far as like a consumer goes, as well as like future business opportunities. So I served military 13 years, about 5 years ago, started, investing within Tesla, was well diversified, but then just, again, started to realize more and more and more how much this was already a diversified company. So it was kind of more comfortable for me to put all eggs in one basket. But I spoke with some of my junior Marines and was just like spitballing the ideas of putting your car out and not having to worry about the parking lots and having cars come and go. And I just decided to say, you know, I'm gonna be a part of that wave. I'm gonna grab a few surfboards and teach people how to surf. And literally what I do currently is I Turo out one of my Teslas and I Uber the other whenever I'm available. And I drive probably 95 to 98% of the drives. And the interface going from Turo to uploading their destination to the screen, it's a little clunky at times. Obviously, you can use the microphone to put it into the navigation a little bit quicker, but I think the thing that a lot of people are missing is just the financial benefit of not having to be in your car and what that would mean for you. I mean, from a perspective of firsthand experience, when I go into Uber, even just for 4 to 6 hours in a day, during the daytime, non-peak times, I can make easily $100 in a day. Well, $100 extrapolated over 350 days of the year, you know, taking into account any sort of maintenance, your own personal use, whenever you couldn't put it on there. I think 350 days, if you have a car that can just be dedicated to doing that, is an additional, you know, $36,000 a year. But I think that $100 is so conservative that's unrealistic. I mean, I think a very conservative yet still realistic viewpoint is making anywhere from $50 to close to $100,000 per car per year. And I think once people start to realize that, even if the masses all buy Teslas, and they will be the people that are fueling the network that help this transition go faster, and the transition, every person that gets into the car now, if they even ask about the Tesla, ask about full self-driving, or even like talk about Elon Musk, I I nerd out about it for their entire drive. And I love sharing that experience. So I think like this community that's here on Spaces, and everybody, if you have not experienced it, man, I'm on 12.56 and 12.54 on my other car, and I cannot wait for 13 just because of all the videos that have been put out. But I think that for those of you that have the means to purchase at least one, if not more, the financial availability for yourself is going to exponentially grow in just the next 12 to 18 months and the future and beyond. Again, I just wanted to kind of put that out there. Love to hear feedback, what anybody else thinks. Appreciate the time. Thanks.
Thank you, Charlie. Okay, this is make me smile. This is make me smile because before I have my little guy, like let's say 2 years ago, I drive Uber too in my Tesla too, and I could not shut up about Elon too. So yeah, I went there. And this afternoon, believe it or not, my girlfriend is gonna come to me at 1 p.m. and we're gonna go to Tesla Corder Modera next to my house, and she's gonna get a Model Y and she's gonna put it on Turo. I'm gonna have finally someone use my referral for first time. So I'm excited. So yes, I see it so clear. What are you talking about? I drive Uber firsthand. $100 is quick. It's 3 hour, 4 hour. You make that. But if you stay 8 hour like a job, and then they have a bonus for you, you make easily 250 or 300 in my area, Bay Area that I live. So yes, it is financial opportunity for sure. And I bought my car in a peak high, like the peak expensive. My Model Y is almost 80,000 with a FSD, and right now it's 45. Oh my goodness. And yeah, I encourage people to look into this. This is an awesome plan. And I would like to say thank you to Cern too, Cern Basher. I invite him to speak, but it's probably late night in Europe right now. I learned a lot from you, Cern. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. You and Herbert have been getting me brighter for sure. And now we have Bohemian leave his hand up. Go ahead, my friend.
I just want to thank you. I just want to touch on what was said there. It's so true. This is another part of the Tesla story that people are waking up to, that we've all known for a very long time now. Is, you know, and it goes back to the fundamentals of what they said in their master plan, which is cost savings. Now, when I think about investments, and I've only just got into this in the last few years, you know, I'm starting to really prioritize that in my life, so that when I grow old and grey, I have something in the bank. And yeah, it's nice. And, you know, I think of the potential of Teslas and owning Teslas with Robotaxi and FSD and all those things. It's a bit like how people would look at mortgaging houses. You get a house for yourself, you leverage the mortgage, and then you buy another house. You have to be rich to do that. You can do that, you can leverage it, and then you rent that house out at a profit, or you let it pay for itself, and you can accumulate wealth that way. Well, there's a lot of regulations that go into doing that with house, and we all know how stifled the world's become by regulations. Europe is a light years behind America, and you guys have probably got thousands of them that you don't want to. Also, you've got tenants and strict landlord rules and upkeep and all those other things, right? So I think that the people over time are going to start looking at a second Tesla as an investment the way that they think about a second house, except the barrier for entry is so much lower. The regulatory guidelines and things are going to be so much lighter comparatively, especially under a Republican government currently. And hopefully for the next 8 to 12 years, if they do a good job, and they, you know, we're all rooting for that to happen. And in Europe, this tide is shifting towards less regulation, a bit more now in politics too. But, you know, if you think about the upkeep of a Tesla, you know, it has so fewer parts than a normal gas car, than an ICE vehicle. So the maintenance of it, so much easier. The ability to earn passive income, you know, a decent clip, so much easier, and the barrier to entry so much lower, and the risk so much lower. And then I think, how are they doing this, Tesla? Well, they're doing the thing that Apple stopped doing once we lost Steve Jobs, rest in peace, is they constantly putting innovation at the forefront of every idea they have, and they're constantly making iterations to reduce cost. And with lithium coming down, their margins are going up, and they're giving those cost savings back to the car consumer, because they know in the long run they just want a bunch of robots on the road, because this is an AI company, and we all know that story. We all know what we believe that vision to be, let's put it that way, because the story is unfolding before our eyes. But these are such small wins in terms of how you communicate this to the layman or the average car buyer. At some point, that is, and it has already clicked, because, you know, Tesla has the #1 selling car in the world, etc., etc. People don't leave Tesla once they try Tesla. The brand loyalty, the product loyalty is insane. But, you know, we're still a step away. I work with 4 other colleagues in my team. All of them own an electric vehicle. All of them. Every single one. Not all of them own a Tesla. I think 2 do. But every single one owns an electric vehicle. And I said to them, what's the best thing you like about it? And they said, well, safety was up there, but also, like, I save a lot of money. This is a lot cheaper for me to run. And then I was thinking, what about when that a lot cheaper to run and maintain and insure? You don't pay road taxis and things here if you own an electric vehicle. The MOT, which is where you take it in annually to get it tested, and you pay for parts, that costs me hundreds of pounds a year. With them, it costs them nothing, like $30 just to do the test, and then they pass, and then they go. They're not thinking about all these different parts in the car. They're not worrying about them. You know, so they've really invested in their cars, and they love that, and they love the idea of how much cheaper it is for them. They're starting to see that over the long term, and couple that with the ability to own another one that actually then offsets any cost of owning the first one. No brainer, right? Absolute no brainer. And I think this is becoming something that's becoming mainstream. You know, a lot of these stories have been manipulated and submerged by the press. It's been ridiculous. Like, here's a great example: the Tesla recall. If you communicated that honestly, you would say every time something needs to change within this car, and the reason why it usually needs to change is because the car is constantly evolving, so it gets better over time as you own it. It will become a better car over time due to these software updates. We do a software update, and you don't go anywhere. You don't take your car anywhere. You turn your car on, it updates, and it's done, right? That's really what they're saying. But they're calling it a recall. Reuters, Jesus, I've had $1 for every time they said recall in the last year. Unbelievable. And don't get me wrong, sometimes they do need to recall update the car for reasons to fix small problems within the car, but they don't honestly report those problems. Like, you know, some of your icons on the screen are too big. We need them smaller, or they're too small and we need them bigger. Obviously, we know that bias, but what's nice now is that the bias is getting shoved out of the way. The focus on Elon and his relationship with Trump is always going to be at the forefront. That's the next attack, right? Try and break them up. Too much monopoly and all that jazz. But in terms of Tesla, massive shift in how they speak about the company. And also a lot of Wall Street is starting to look really foolish. So they're hopscotching it. Like, have you ever seen some of the price target adjustments for any major S&P company that we've seen in the last month? Like from $50 to $300, from $91 to $400. It's like insane, right? Like the jumps are illogical for us. And Pejjy's got a crazily ambitious stock price target. Well done, Pejjy, you nailed it, and some. And I've got a high one on my profile. And we are people who are talking every day and thinking every day about Tesla, right? So for them to go that way, it's just a cover your ass sort of thing. But with that all out the way, what I really like is the fact that it allows the everyday person to go, and even though the cars, we still don't have that 25K killer, you know, we don't have the Toyota Corolla or whatever it is that's the equivalent, you know, middle of the road car for the average income earner. What Tesla investors do have now is the ability for those types of target, that TAM, that total addressable market, to sit back and actually go, even though it's maybe £5,000 more than I want in Europe right now. Oh, if I own this car for 10 years, I'm probably going to save like £3,000 a year, you know? And that's £30,000. So they're doing the math, and they're having the ability to do the math, which I find super exciting. And then couple that with Robotaxi down the line, it will be much longer getting that stuff going in Europe, I think, than America. But will it? You know, will it? At some point, we've got to deregulate and innovate in Europe. Otherwise, we're going to get completely left behind, right? AI is coming. It's not slowing down. 95% of the best companies in the world are in America. The next 5% are in China. So it's time to catch up. But I just wanted to add that in. It's like, I really liked what the last speaker said, because it got me thinking about that. And you know, this just so, but what really gives me hope and what really makes me joyful is that I always thought July 2025 would be liftoff for Tesla. It's happened earlier because of Trump, I think, and also because people are like, FSD is just ramped so quickly, and like Wall Street are no longer able to ignore the quality of the product and what they're able to do. They used to moan about the doors not fitting perfectly and things, right? We all know that as Tesla launches, they launch fast, and as they ramp up, everything gets perfect. But you know, it was just ridiculous, some of the small nitty things that they were talking about. But and then with all the other OEMs, like, I don't know if you guys know, but the German one, Volkswagen, they're just German. It's sad actually, because Germany is a mecca in Europe, and we need it to be doing well, but they are crumbling, absolutely crumbling. They're shutting down factories. They're protesting now against that. It's a nightmare. But who benefits from that? Tesla, obviously. Absolutely. So all of those things coming together. Yeah, crazy. Really excited. I get so pumped when I hear people talk that way and say things that just really resonate. But back over to you, gang.
Joseph, please.
I just want to echo what he just said. Very excellent point. I mean, we all heard about we are on the very first wave of this evolution. We are really just at the beginning here. If I had to put it into baseball terms, we are in the second inning. We all know EV is the future. The next step, as Jensen mentioned from NVIDIA, autonomy and AI is the future. Whether we like it or not, we can stop developing, but China is not going to stop. They're gonna be all in AI and autonomy. So we all know that EU is crippled by all the regulation and lawfare. The only one that can realistically challenge China is US, and within US, the biggest company, the highest potential is Tesla. So to me, that's my fortress of confidence and solitude in investing in Tesla. I know that it's very risky at times to think, hey, we all kind of all in one company. But many people mention within Tesla that it's like tons of startup, different technology all come together and have synergy with each other, like battery working with cars, and then software working for cars and robot. and the ability to able to scale, it's just hard to believe. I also work for another big tech, Max 7. Don't want to name names because I recently just retired and quit. I don't want my colleagues to call me and say, "Oh, you talk about the company." So, but the second reason I always believe in Tesla is I know even I work for Max 7, one of the big tech. We are never able to compete with Tesla, no matter how capable the employees, no matter how motivated we individually are, we'll never be able to compete Tesla because we're not a founder-led company. Our CEO is also an employee, right? He hired by somebody else. So they're not going to be taking risks that are fundamentally rocking the boat. Nobody wants to rock the boat. Everybody wants to just survive, earn enough money and retire. That's how the leadership in our company are thinking, right? Why rock the boat when your motivation is to get to the next position, higher pay, more people under you, and get the job done and go home, right? They're looking to retire comfortably and securely. They're not looking to rock the boat and, challenge the status quo. There's no point in doing that. Nobody wants to be the smartest guy in the room there. So to me, it's very difficult. Even if you have a good idea, you want it to be implemented in real life. It's just very challenging, and this is why Google and Microsoft and I would say even sometimes Amazon, nobody able to come up with a product that is so revolutionary and be able to scale and be able to capture all the minds and soul like Tesla did. So this is something that's very unique that the Musk company has that no other Max 7, maybe you can say except NVIDIA. NVIDIA is also another founder-led company that have that DNA. But other than that, I really think that Tesla is in a unique position to capture, I wouldn't say 100%, but high percentage of success in autonomy and AI. And this is why I'm investing in it, not just because the car business. We all know they're dominating the car business with decent margin, right? The next two wave is what we're looking for. And I believe that the short term we are going from 350 to now 400. It's not just because of the, good news, the short-term news, or the certain upgrade from Bank of America. Not just that. I think it's more people waking up and realize, you know what? Maybe that robot thing is not crazy. Maybe there's some truth to that. And the Robotaxi people more waking up. So it's a waking up moment. It takes time, but the more people see those video, hear the news, capture the Optimus robot catching the ball in the air, the more news like that come out into space, the more people realize, you know what, maybe I should, have a little skin in the game here. So it's a waking up moment, and we all collectively doing that, to help this mission come to fruition. So thank you all. That's all I have to say. Back to you guys.
Yeah, no, that's some solid points. That's some good points. Thanks, Joseph. Thanks, Bohemian, for all the good, all the humble stuff. Glad I could help, or we could help in any way. Good stuff, Charlie. And there's one thing I do want to say. Fa, you said that Cern is in Europe. He is not. He is actually in the US. just want, just want to say that.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Cern was.
I don't know why. I think he in Europe. Hello, Cern.
Yeah, no, Cern.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. Welcome.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for having me. I've been enjoying the conversation from my Cybertruck. It is driving me. I am just sitting here enjoying the scenery as I heading north out of Florida, heading up to Ohio. So it's about 1,000-kilometer trip, and it couldn't be better. So for those of you that don't live in the U.S. or Canada and have not experienced FSD, I really can't wait until you all can experience it. It's pretty amazing.
Lost you, Cern. Think you're going way too fast in that Cybertruck.
Sorry, maybe the cell phone connection is not so great.
All right, you're living my
Yeah,
dream. You have a
I
Cybertruck.
I
You're
don't
living
know
my
if
dream.
he can hear me or hear us.
Can you hear me?
But Cern, if you can hear us,
Yes, I hear you
we
guys.
can't hear you.
Yes, I can hear you,
But
sir.
until he comes back, Cern will be coming on my channel in 2 weeks' time to talk about a price target for 2035 based on some metrics that him and I have been working on. It's going to be a sheesh moment, and I'm very excited to do this. So that's going to be flipping awesome.
Can you guys hear me
But
now?
yeah, I don't think Sir can hear us. I think he's been disconnected. That's why.
Yes,
No,
we hear you.
yeah,
I
we
think
hear you,
everybody
sir.
can hear
Oh,
Cern
wait.
except for Pejjy.
He just gave a
Yeah.
heart, meaning he could hear us. Cern, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. It sounds like Pejjy
Yeah, I
perhaps
think he's
can't
not
hear me,
having
but
stable
everybody else
connection.
can.
I think the next
Sir,
part
Who's
he's
the
gonna get is probably a
host?
Starlink. But until he comes back, yeah, you guys had some. Oh, yeah, you guys had some awesome points with everything. Oh, Joseph, yeah, go ahead.
yes, we can all hear Cern except you, Pejjy. So maybe let Cern speak, and then and then maybe you can join back. We cannot hear you, Pejjy.
I'm
Hello?
back. Can you hear me?
Ah, there we are. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
we can. Yep.
That's great. Yeah, the
perfect.
frustrating thing about spaces sometimes is the connection quality. I've been enjoying the conversation, but I just want to share a couple of other thoughts, maybe just to extend the conversation a little bit. When I think of Robotaxi, you know, the ride, giving people rides from point A to point B is exciting, and that's going to be great. But I see Robotaxi as a platform for all kinds of other services. And in fact, I think one day that the cost of a ride will be so cheap it'll be close to free, and you might pay for other services along the way, whether it's entertainment. I could see you going to a foreign city and having a guided tour via a Robotaxi, and restaurant recommendations, and all highly personalized to what your preferences are. And so I think there's all kinds of different experiences that can be layered on top of a Robotaxi network, as well as all kinds of other services, certainly delivery services. A lot of excitement there. The thing that I'm the most excited about is humanoid robots. And here's the reason. And this explanation came from the CEO of 1X this past week. And I thought the way that he described it was so succinct and so clear in terms of helping me understand the true opportunity. Basically, what we're doing, for the first time in human history, we will have a way to prompt engineer the physical world. Right? We will be able to give instructions to a robot, to a fleet of robots, to do work in the physical world. I think we probably all have a taste of what it's like to prompt engineer our large language model, and how exciting that is, right? We all talk about this Chat GPT moment. And in my mind, that is child's play compared to what is coming, you know, in our future with humanoid robots. Once we can tell a robot basically to do anything that another human could do. I suppose the only parallel perhaps is in, you know, I hate to bring this up, but in the time of slavery, right, where you could command people to do things that you wanted them to do, and they had no say but to do it. And in this case, we're going to have these highly capable humanoid bots doing a lot of work for us. And of course, you know, as great as that may be, and I think it is great, there's going to be some massive adjustments for humanity to really deal with. You know, the one thing we saw this past week was that a CGI video, I guess, of Kim Kardashian shopping with 5 or 6 robots. Do we really want that? Do we really want people, you know, walking through the mall with their army of bots walking behind them? You know, we're going to have to think through some of these things about what is acceptable in terms of, you know, humanoids walking around in the world with people and all that. I guess it's just going to take us some time to adjust to that. But when I saw that video, I was a little bit shocked. And even though I've been thinking about humanoid bots for quite a while, I wasn't really ready to see that. And so I found that kind of interesting. That here I am, the guy that thinks about humanoids 24/7 was kind of taken aback by that fake image of the bots inside the shopping mall carrying the bags. So anyway, I'll just stop there. But thank you for this conversation. It's great.
Thank you, Cern. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's an eye opening, isn't it? So the reason that I'm all in Tesla stock is because I see the opportunity in so many stuff. The car, the power energy, the AI, the bot, the insurance, right? The machine that built the machine. Elon said himself, Tesla is a factory. His how do I say? What is he said? Let me think. Let's just slip out. The manufacturing is one of the product. So what is the on top of everything is what Cern just explained. The opportunity of the Tesla bot. Like all of us own the iPhone, and we do so much with our iPhone. We have the app that do all kind of things. You just download all kind of app, and Tesla bot it will just be like that. It will be the platform, and you can download so much app in it. They can do the roof for you. They can go clean the ocean. There's so much this can do. So the opportunity of this as a business is like my brain cannot even can think of all of it. So that is why I'm all in. And Cern and Herbert did have an episode. I forget the name of it, but Cern do go to the opportunity in 30-year time, 40-year time, 50, 60-year time, and it's like, oh my
Exactly.
God! I recommend you guys to go look it up in YouTube. Thank you so much for sharing us your knowledge. I'm so thankful. What up, Pejjy?
Yeah, no, absolutely. The thing is, with the reason why I went all into Tesla stock was because of the FSD and Robotaxi. Like back in 2020, I sat down, I did the numbers. I'm like, if Tesla can get their their Robotaxi unit to this amount and to this number, to this many rides, the company can be worth trillions upon trillions. And that was my own thesis why I went all in. And then we get this bot slap into our face a couple years later, and I just didn't understand it. I brushed it off. But now we're looking at this thing like, oh my God. And then when I brought Cern on my channel for the first time, he explained to me how important this bot is, and it really blew my mind. And it's still nutty till today. I sit down, we have more clarity now, but even now when I sit and try to do some numbers with the bot, and it's just the scaling of it, how Elon talks about there's going to be more humanoid robots than humans on this planet. And then if Tesla takes 20% of that, oh my goodness, that's like trillions of dollars in revenue and profits. And it's just like, I mean, that hurts my brain. Like, how can one company generate that much, right? And is there enough? Is there even enough cash for this thing to even happen, right? And a lot of these things were, in my mind, even till today, that it's still nutty to me. I can't comprehend such a big thing. I know we're talking about we have this gap, or this cap, not gap, this cap that, Tesla will be worth 5 or 6 trillion. But once the bot is in, I mean, I don't think that cap exists. You know what I mean? Like that's the crazy part.
It's just a number now. It's just a number
That's
now.
what I
It
mean.
will blow up.
That's what I mean. And when you sit down and look at this, and it's like, is this even realistic? Like, that's the crazy part. Like, you're battling between realism and what's actually like about to happen. You know what I mean? Like, that's the one part that my brain cannot accept. And yeah, that's why it's like, I mean, yeah, it's just hard to think about. Like robo taxis and stuff, I can completely see that happening because think Uber, but multiply by 10, and the cost is so much cheaper. Yeah, easy to think about that and scale it. The only problem is like third world countries like India. How do you get robo taxis there? How do you get FSD there? That's gonna be the next issue after this. Um, but the bot is like, man, I mean, I talked about this before on the space of it last week. How I understood why the bot is going to do so well is because it could be your butler. It can do your chores. It can do your, laundry and all that kind of stuff. It can cook for you, all that, and the amount of time you can save, that's incredible. I can see that, but it's just the mere scale and the idea that everyone's going to have one is just crazy. That's the part that for every factory for sure. But when it comes to like people owning it, I think we'll have a lot of skeptics. Oh, I'm gonna have a robot at home doing what? I mean, this is gonna be creepy. What if what if I'm sleeping and it gets malfunction, it kicks down the door and comes it comes to choke me. You know what I mean? Like I can see that paranoia happening, or or that thinking happening for sure. But yeah, that's the one part that boggles my mind on mere scale, which is a sheesh moment.
Benji, several years ago, right after AI Day, like there's a guy dressing like an Optimus bot, on stage dancing, and then people start laughing. I'm like, this is crazy. This is the moment where I tell to myself, right, not financial advice. This is the moment I tell myself, like, you gotta fucking go all in, ridiculous. This is it. This product is the ultimate product because the AI bot is the final form of robotic that will work in any situation, any human condition. I still remember debating in Twitter at that time about, oh no, there should be specialized product, product that specialized for one task. Humanoid is not going to be scaled, it's not scalable, it's not going to work. I'm like, bro, you're crazy. You have to think about it. You want to be able to make one robot and scale to billions of it in one form factor, right? And different form factor, different specialty, because it's not interchangeable. It's not going to be able to scale, all kinds of reasons. So Tesla has the balls to just go all in humanoid robot at that time and be able to make such a fast process. Tells you one thing: it's the future. So I totally want to get into that ASAP. I already heavily invested in Tesla. But the question is, should I continue, or are they crazy to pursue such a crazy goal? I should sell. Like obviously, I continue because I know what the future holds. Even though they may not be able to do all the tasks in the next few years, but you can see once you launch the product, it can continue to iterate and improve, software upgrade. The most important thing is the robot can walk, get to different places, different terrain, get up and get down the stair, maybe go not just paved road, maybe rocky road, that kind of thing. All good. The second most important thing is the hands, right? Once the hand is so sophisticated and be able to do 22 degree of angle and maneuverability, it becomes very clear that you can deploy anywhere to do food production, food manufacturing, automobile. There are so many mundane tasks that a bot just deploy it, maybe have one human person monitor 10 of them, maintain them, and make sure they don't, head into a corner and not able to get out. I don't know. There are many situations where a human robot can make money already, but not able to see that is such a shame, right? Because we all know China is doing it, so we must have a better product. And Tesla is doing all the right thing, and I just can't wait to see the final form of the product. I digress. Back to you guys.
No, oh, sorry. I just want to add something. Both of you just such good points there, but Pejjy said something that was so true, which is when you start imagining the bots, and when you start imagining what they can do with them, it starts to be like a subconscious battle of, even though we are all enthusiasts, we all believe in the mission, we're all in on it, we're all in on it, right? But that battle between realism and fantasy thing, I had that same thought when I first started to find Tesla 2 years ago. Like, I'd known about the company before, but really started like, right, I want to put, I don't want to diversify. I want to get into tech. I want to find a company that's ahead of everyone else. And then I found Tesla, and I started to look at it, and I thought, my sensible brain was like, yeah, but does anybody else not see this? Because surely they wouldn't be able to do all of this because of, competitiveness, and other companies would come in, and, surely and then I realized they're the only ones who can do all of this. And they're the only company that actually has the correct incentive structures for all of their employees, and the visionary of our generation, whether you like him or not. He just is. And I like him, obviously, but he is. And then what Joseph said as well is so true. It's not just the physicality tasks and things. A robot will be able to sit down with a 7-year-old kid who's got learning difficulties and have the patience of a saint that most teachers don't have the capacity for, because their kids are in 40 deep classrooms where they're not getting the right attention they need currently in education systems around the world. And we're in the most blessed part of the world, the Western world. So we're all the luckiest learners if we are in that world. If you're not, maybe you disagree, or maybe it's something different. I know Pejjy or not, but we're in good. I'm in the UK. It's a higher standard than most other countries, right? So it'll be able to sit down, and you can buy the education bot, and maybe you can buy the education bot on a subscription basis, or you can buy it at a different pricing point if you just want the education bot. And then you can have the motivation bot, or the bot that knows everything about exercise, or the bot that knows everything about science, or the bot that knows everything about like physical car mechanics. And you're like, I need a bot that's going to talk me through getting this car sorted. And it can also do a bit of the lifting while we're doing it. And I start to battle myself, like Pejjy mentioned, the realism thing. God, and anybody who follows Pejjy knows how extremely studious he is with any sort of decision. Anything he sort of talks about is all been probably overthought, right, Pejjy? And no, but then I think, but I just saw them were robot catching a frigging tennis ball in a month ago, dancing, and 6 months ago before that, and then a year ago it was people actually dressed up as robots, and it was like just it was a thought piece, really. It was like it was a conceptual thing, and I'm like, that's all happened since I just got in on Tesla, and I've only been in on it for a couple of years, and I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, and think about it this way. I don't know if anybody's old enough, but I grew up, my young adulthood was the 90s. Everybody bought CDs. We all bought CDs. My dad is a tech guy, and he's always been ahead of the curve, and he was always bringing advanced technology home. Anything that came out, he loved music. Anything that came out, CDs became portable CD players. That was a big thing. Move away from tapes, right? Stuff like that. Then one day he got me to watch something by Steve Jobs, and I can't remember when it was, but he was talking about how you're going to be able to put 40,000 songs in your pocket. And by the way, that will also be a phone. And by the way, the thing will act like a computer, and it'll actually like be intuitive. So it will know exactly what you're trying to do when you just press a screen. And I remember thinking, this is nuts. I save up my salary after working my shitty job as a young professional getting into the world to go and buy 2 or 3 CDs a week. I was a CD nut. And I was thinking, this is going to be a phone, and it's going to like how, and you start to physically see 40,000 songs worth of CDs in your head, and imagine trying to wedge that into something the size of an ice cube and stick it in your pocket. A nano, they were called, I think, the first ones, and I love that little nano. And then you think, I can't do that. I can't conceptualize that. But then they just do it, and then almost overnight, the problem becomes, yeah, but how do we have a version that's also got a touch screen so I can see which songs are playing? How do I have stop, play, repeat, loop, you know, and it becomes all these extras. And that's where Elon will excel with the robots. And it will be like ordering Uber Eats when you order a Robotaxi or robot at some point in the future. You go on and you just hit that little plus sign if you want extra salad dressing, or you want, you know, spicy fries and not original fries. And it's all there and it's all clean. And they'll roll it out with the vertical integration on one line. And this is going to happen. The next generation of kids will grow up with the option of not having to learn to drive, and they can drive everywhere. They just won't be doing any of it. That will happen. And it's nutty. One of the things somebody, Pejjy, I think you mentioned was, yeah, how do we get this into India? How do we get this into, say, places like Africa? And that is a concern, but that's a concern that has nothing to do with Tesla. It's a concern of, like, we're in a state of deglobalization in the world right now. I think we can all agree. The great experiment of globalization has many positives, but also, as you can see, currently seems to be having a few negatives on economies and things like that. Are we going to be in these two worlds? And that's a scary thought. Or is it just going to be like it's always, is it actually going to lift up third world countries or countries that are impoverished more, because there'll be such an abundance in the West that actual resources can then be given in the right way? Debts can be cancelled, you know? Most of these countries are so indebted to other countries that they just never get out of it. You think America's debt's bad? There's plenty of countries in Africa that literally, they don't have the infrastructures to build things that would mean that they control all their rich minerals and all their resources, so they outsource them, right? Is it going to cancel that problem? So with this technological advancement, it does concern me from that sense, but I do think it lifts up those other countries too, and I think it will lift them up actually in a profound way. It's such a crazy time, because you read the news, you think we're teetering on the edge of disaster, but I think in this chat, when we think about products and technology and what it can do to solve problems and make people's lives happier, more productive, easier, and make everybody have an option for passive income that you do not have to be an Einstein to generate through robots and robotaxis, and just literally have more time and live a happier life because of these products. You know, on the other side, you think we are potentially about to have a sonic boom moment. Because I remember going to set up the internet in 2000 with my mom managed a cyber cafe. It's where you went to use the internet because not many homes had them, and you could just sit at a computer for an hour. And learning how to log on and set up an email account. And within a few years, nobody was even bothering using computers. They could just go in on the phone. And within a few years, the BlackBerry was dead and you didn't even need to press buttons. That's the way we're going, right? So super exciting. I love what everybody's saying. It just really gets my mind getting a bit nutty too. But the reality is this, it's all been laid out by Elon in his master plans. The next one's coming soon. He's literally stayed married to that vision, and he's literally delivered on everything he said. And it's just been a little late. So who the hell am I to even think it might be fantasy? You know, I'm seeing it. It's all logically broken down, and he'll make it so accessible and easy for people to do these things. Like the Uber Eats version of like these purchasing of these things is going to be so slick and clean and seamless. It's just going to compound the interest for it. Crazy. Back over to you guys.
Yeah, no, you had some really decent, you had some really strong points. The moment that I realized that this bot thing is going to happen, regardless we like it or not, is when I saw China go full ham on this, and when I saw other companies in the US go crazy on this as well. And I'm just like, there's no turning back now. Like, there's no turning back on this. You you have to do this, otherwise, you know, you're gonna be left behind. So that was another eye-opening moment for me. Another point you brought up that was really interesting is deglobalization. I'm a big fan of globalization, and the fact that we're seeing a lot of steps towards deglobalization, whether it's towards China or Russia or any of these other countries, it does worry me a little bit. But because it ties into geopolitics, which ties into wars, and we don't want to go down that path. And a country like, for example, let's say, I don't want to get political here, but I love talking about geopolitics. That's like my favorite things to talk about. But I keep away from that because it's too controversy. But since we're just talking here, we can talk about it. Whatever. Is that countries like China, for example, this ambition of taking Taiwan and this thing themselves going into, you know, trying to be as strong as the US. I don't know. I was hoping that China could, through these years, because the reason why China is the way it is because of the US. The US came and opened up the gates and said we can work with China, we can get all our manufacturing there, all that kind of stuff, and they became very wealthy because of it. And they're taking the playbook right from the US, even though they call themselves a communist country. But at the end of the day, they're taking what a lot of democracies do, or what the US does. It's just under a communist or a quote unquote communist view. But now the fact that they come out and they say that, yeah, we have to, like, you know, be as strong as the US and have all these ambitions, that's, you know, that's the part that I'm a little disappointed, because I was thinking that as time goes on, China could become a lot more friendlier than what they would be. With Russia, I understand. Russia's a different story. You know, that, you know, with NATO, all that kind of stuff, whatever, that's different. But with China, well, you know, I was hoping something different. But now that, you know, Trump is in with a lot of, you know, well, when he goes in, and there's going to be a lot of tariffs on China, um, and just that, you know, back and forth trade war and stuff like that, and this move towards de-risking. They're not even calling it deglobalization. They're calling it de-risking. I don't know if you guys have realized that, but the Western countries are calling it de-risking, just in case if something happened, just in case, for example, China moves on to Taiwan, and now we have to, we have a whole bunch of, like, what's it called, trade, or a lot of supply being disrupted. You know, we want to be de-risked from that as much as possible. But I don't know, it's just there's a lot of it's just a lot of stuff going on with China and stuff. We depend on them a lot too, so it's not that easy. But I don't know, that's the one part I don't like about that, because now it's becoming a kind of thing where it's like you versus us kind of thing. Like, okay, your optimist boss will be against our optimist bots, and it's just like, okay, well, I mean, that's not the world that we want it to be in, right? But I don't know. That's my view on geopolitics. I know, John, you have your speaker on.
Yeah.
What you got for us?
Well, I would just say that globalism will kill Tesla. Globalism is not good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
so
can.
I disagree with you on anything globalist is bad. Bad globalism, not good.
Okay.
And it kills progress. And I'll tell you guys, when we're all talking about all this cool stuff Tesla can do, but government regulation can slow that down a lot. And we saw that with when they land the rockets in the ocean. Like, hey, what about the shark? Well, shit, no doubt. Maybe what if a shark died? You know. But anyway, so paper ballots. You know, we got to remember. We start at the beginning. We got paper ballots. We get conservatives in office. We can deregulate the government, which is what Doge is going to do. So I totally disagree with you on Pejjy that globalism has anything good. They start the wars. It makes money for them, and total deregulation will be great. Let capitalism pave the way, because anybody that wants to make money, I'm a business owner, and if I want to make money, I do a good job, and my business grows, and that's, you know, and we innovate. So anyway, I just want to say that. I don't want to be political, but I don't really have much to offer other than that. But anyway,
I just want to add, John, anybody who hasn't read Milton Friedman's book, the Nobel Prize winning economist, Freedom and Capitalism, that is a book to read when you think about free market trade and deregulation and all the other things. And I'm not married to all of that person's ideas, but I love what he has to say, and I think his principles and the role of the government are absolutely true. And I think we're in a fortunate, but, you know, laissez-faire free market capitalism does come with its risk too, because there's always bad actors in every field. There does need to be oversight of things, but, you know, there's ways we can all agree that every major government in the world right now has way too much participation in the lives of ordinary individuals. And a lot of these words like libertarianism and stuff get hijacked now, and they mean a completely different thing to the intention. But if you actually go back to their original intention, there's so much good stuff there. And I think that's where the West does really well, because what we used to, I think in Europe, we're struggling a lot. We're struggling a lot here, and there's so many examples of, like, if you compare what they built 50 years ago and the cost, and you compare how long it takes not to build something now and the cost with all the technology we have, it's just night and day, right? And that's regulation issues, that's incompetency a lot of the time, it's a lot of the time corruption. I have mixed feelings about globalization. I think it's benefited me in my personal life. I've lived in 8 countries. I was a fairly nomadic person working professionally around the world for over a decade. Globalization certainly helped me with that. I think getting in touch with different cultures. Again, I went to some places that I can't even go to now because of what's happening in the world. But, you know, obviously not to get too geopolitical either, but with, I think the biggest problem we're facing in the world right now is flood of, and, you know, the only difference between a normal, like a person who is safe and a refugee is luck, really, because it's where you're born. You know, if you're born in a country that's war-torn, you're probably going to be a refugee. And if you're not, so I have all the empathy, and I am pro-immigration. I have to be, because I've moved to 9 countries. So if I wasn't, I'd be kind of anti-me. But I would say it's become a problem. And I think what we're seeing is this decoupling. It's made economy so unstable, the British economy thing, and it's made people angry because they see the spend disparity and they don't understand why the fundamental things that need to be taken care of are not having money spent on them. And I think this Republican Party, honestly, I'm a socially liberal guy. I think of your last 5 to 6 presidents, I probably would have mostly voted Democrat, but this one I could not have wanted the Republicans to win more, because the other party have completely moved away from all of these things. I mean, look at California. It's just a perfect example. I know this is not the spaces for that, but
dude,
look at this.
Dude, look at Canada, man. Look at Canada.
I'll just say, I lived in Toronto 15 years ago, and it's completely changed Canada. I go back almost.
It's sad, man. Like I'm Canadian, right? And I work here in the Middle East. Man, I like when I go back every summer and I say how worse it gets every year. I'm freaking like I'm thinking of moving to the US.
I'll just say Trump and company, they're not Republicans. I'm not. No, I'm conservative. We're not. It's not the Republicans. Those guys are a bunch of jackass. You know, they could give a shit about you and me. It's the right. They're the uniparty. So look, I get it. But capitalism has had, it's gone awry in some ways. I agree, but they've had the media to cover. That's all been exposed. Like X has taken away pulled back the curtain, right? You can't. It's hard to run cover now. It's like when Elon bought Twitter, I was like, wow, world saved. We can see behind the curtain now. It was just amazing. And that's when I got into Tesla.
It's going to free you.
That's what I bought. Yeah. So, you know, and if something runs amok now, if it has exposure and visibility, the public can check it, put it in check. Like, oh shit, they're making Fruit Loops with red dye. I'm not going to buy Fruit Loops. Guess what? Fruit Loops isn't selling last week. They're off. You know what I mean? It's like they got truckloads of Fruit Loops now just because it came on X. And so this is what's so great, and that's capitalism right there. Freedom. Yeah, that's how I see it.
The reality is the you know, civilization is never been in a stronger place, and capitalism is the society that we live in. Even it's the best. It's, you know, the best. It's still the best time to be alive. So I have mixed feelings about capitalism. Pejjy, by the way, I do love Canada. It's a great country, and I love my time there. But I will say one thing is just government. When I saw, the reason I was rooting for this government is that they had a lot more common sense. And obviously, I have no skin in the game. I live here, but I would say this. I looked into the spending in California, and that was terrifying. Gavin Newsom was given $25 billion to fight the homeless crisis, increased threefold, and they literally said they could not account for the money, or they could not audit the money. They don't even know where it went. So it got funneled off somewhere, right? So when stuff like that starts happening, that rail track that's taken a decade, it's going to come in 10 times over budget. They still haven't got anybody sitting on a advanced electric train to go anywhere. Crazy, hundreds of billions in the end wasted on these things. So, but no, exciting time. Sorry, Pejjy, I don't want to derail this either, but just so many thoughts flying about.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, the conversations, they just merge into other things because it just Tesla isn't so. I mean, that's the beauty about Tesla, right? Like it starts off talking about the fundamentals of the company and what the company does, and then it just merges into this massive thing that involves everything, right? Now we were just talking about globalization stuff like that, which is insane. Now here's the thing. Here's one thing that I wanna point out is in the Robotaxi event, there was that one split second or 2 second where it shows the app that your ride is here, but right above that, I don't know if you guys caught up on that, but it says Plaid Airways. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but it's yeah, it was an Easter egg, and I'm just like, is Tesla is after the bots? Are they going to be focusing on aviation now? Are they going to be thinking about going into airplanes and changing the way how airplanes are? Because because here's the thing with as long as Elon is alive, here's the thing: as long as Elon is alive, Tesla is going to continue innovating to next levels. Do you guys think that the bot is going to be the end? Oh, hell no, dude. It's just no. Until he's no longer there, he's no longer in the picture, and knock on wood, nothing happens to him. But as long as he's there, there's going to be something every 3 years. Just like how we didn't know about the FSD back in 2020, and then we didn't know about the bot in 2022. I'm guessing maybe in 2027, 2028. Yeah, guys. Yeah, here's our prototype for a full aircraft that will take you places, electric.
Yeah, I
You know what I
completely
mean?
agree.
Like,
He said, he's building a rocket. He's got a rocket company, right? He's flying, he's sending rockets up into space and bringing them back, right? So we know he's got the capabilities to design that. He also said in Joe Rogan, when he was on there a couple of years ago, I know he goes back most years, but he also mentioned, I've actually designed a prototype for an airplane. I just don't have the capacity to build it. He's also said recently, in the future, when people sort of try to talk about robotaxis and like media and ask, are you really gonna? He goes, everything will be electric, including aeroplanes. So he's put it out there. I think the one thing I would say, Pejjy, about, don't get me wrong, God forbid anything happened to Elon as a human being, but also for humankind, right? But of all the CEOs, I think because his vision is so laid out, and because the people who work for him, who sacrifice a lot, obviously their incentive structures are great, so he gets the best out of them, but they sacrifice a lot of their lives for him. They're so dedicated. All the best innovators in the world want to work at that company. The vision is laid out. All of the vision will be laid out before Elon's time because he wants to get to Mars, and he'll probably be too old to see it happen himself, so he'll want it laid out. As much as it would be a disaster if he was to, let's not say pass away because that's morbid, but like to step away from the company. You had to step away for whatever reason, health concerns, I don't know, whatever. But you just say he stepped away and he was no longer there. I actually do believe, even though obviously it would be a monstrous loss to not have him at the company, but of all the other CEOs, I think his vision is going to be more cemented in this in Tesla than any other of the CEOs, because his vision is, he's had this vision for decades. Maybe he's had this vision since he was 16. I wouldn't put it past him. And the reason I think that now is because of how X is coming into the frame and how they're going to integrate X and XAI, and Tesla's going to be a synonymous brand with so many things that benefit humanity. It will be like, and I think as we get on in decades, industries are going to shrink down to 2, 3, 4 major players, and there'll be other companies that they use. Although Tesla tends to vertically integrate everything, and most of their materials are made by themselves. Genius move. This is why Ford are going to go bankrupt. GM. They just hundreds of other companies making their cars. Yeah, but I think we're going to see a shrinking of players in every industry with AI, every industry. And a lot of the other companies will get absorbed. A lot of the other companies will get bought out. Governments will have to sort of save a couple of zombie companies like GM have been saved already because they can't have them going bankrupt. But that's all going away. Those people are just literally going to get to the point where they're like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze, Like, we can't be spending too much money when we're giving you $200 billion to save this company and you're giving back nothing, zombie companies essentially. But so long answer short, Pejjy, yeah, absolutely. I think once the car thing is done and solved, FSD is solved. They have their models and they're just going to iterate them every few years, and they'll always be bringing out really cool features and new things, and they'll get so much more bespoke, so much more tailored, so much more suited to individuals' tastes and needs, and it'll be so easy to order those tastes and needs online, much like Uber Eats. Sure. Once that part is done, which is probably the next 5 years minimum, like just to get everything really perfect that way, and energy is going to take care of itself. They have a model now. They just churn this stuff out. The demand's only going to increase, I think, over the next few years because AI demands so much energy,
Awesome.
and grid systems are so old. So great
But not
until they
yet.
find a better solution. Tesla wins there. Once they get these, these things sort of done, the vision is done. It's just the execution. Yeah, why wouldn't he? I mean, yeah. I mean, and also he probably looks at Boeing and thinks, you're so bloody incompetent at what you do. Why am I not going to do it? He made such a good point. A CEO of an airline company has to be an engineer. There's safety regulations and things have gone to shit because the last CEO, I think they got a new one in, wasn't an engineer. He didn't know anything about this stuff. He's just looking at bottom lines and spreadsheets. And I'm sure he was brilliant at those parts of it. But, he cut a few too many regulatory safety measures within his own company there. And now we're seeing the results, right? Elon wouldn't make that mistake. So, why not? Why not? It's so nutty, but why not?
Welcome to Tesla and Elon. Joseph?
Just want to make one more point. This is totally a little bit different regarding DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency. So nowadays, a lot of people in legacy media trying to talk shit about Elon, being a billionaire running the government. But I think once DOGE become apparent that it's really making positive contribution of killing all the wastefulness, all the money wasting, stupid regulation in the government, people will start turning around and see, you know what? Maybe this guy is not how he's being described in the mainstream media. Maybe because he's trying to do something different for the government and for the people. I think more people will wake up from that nonsense narrative, and more people are willing to look into Elon and buy into Elon's product and buy into his vision. So I think the truth will come out eventually from the mass who are still sleeping, being brainwashed. So more people will come to our side, and I think this is one of the catalysts that will eventually move the stock also, because we a lot of people are just brainwashed into believing the nonsense. But I think this one is like a little bit hidden catalyst that will change the narrative in the long term. So I'm really glad we have X on our side now. I remember in the old days when I talk a little bit about Hillary, I get banned for like a few days. So those times are gone. Now we can speak our mind and knowing that we're not getting censored. That's all I have to say. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Facts, absolutely. Fah, what do you got to say?
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. Yes.
This is awesome. I learned a lot. We are last 1 minute left.
Yes.
What I see after this week, after this year, after the past 5 years that I've been actually look into the stock, Elon is a man of his word. When he set his mind on something, he set his sight on something, he's all into it. And he definitely have our back as shareholder. So many times he say like the long-term shareholder will be reward. I truly believe him. So thank you so much for everyone that's coming today. Conversation going so many different direction, and I love it. I truly love it. So thank you.
Yeah, and I want to end off asking everybody, who is ready to see all-time highs next week? Give me the emojis,
Me.
everyone. Give me
Me.
because
Me.
it's
Yes.
it's gonna be awesome. Like it's everything is right. It's perfect to see all-time highs. I mean, right now the market cap is all-time high, so I just don't see why the stock wouldn't reach an all-time high next week. Until January, we do see a
It's
sell
been
off,
4
but
years.
still, yeah.
It's been 4 years.
Oh my God, what a comeback! It's honestly, congratulations to all Tesla long-term investors. I mean, everyone who's listening here and who's watching here on YouTube, congratulations to all of you guys. If you guys held, you guys went through the tough times. It was hard, but we made it through. I mean, for crying out loud, the stock did a trip like so far. what is it right now? The stock went as low as 150 this year, and then last year it was at 100, and now we're talking about all-time highs. Like this is something that is like I don't believe it. You know what I mean? But hey, welcome to Tesla stock. You know, when you look at the company and the fundamentals, and when you look at what's happening macro environmentally, I mean, oh my goodness, this is gonna be an awesome 2020. The next 4 years actually is gonna be flipping awesome. So,
Hey, Benji
yeah.
and Far, we should have a watch party as we approach 420.69, man.
A watch party? Oh my god.
I am ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Oh my goodness. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. Sheesh. But no, that was nice. That was nice. So I don't know, Fi, do you want to do this space every week, every Saturday? If you're down?
I'm down. I'm down. Let's
Cool.
do it.
So we can
I
do
have
it.
so much fun.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. We can do it 90 minutes every Saturday around this time. I think that'd be awesome. That'd be fun. And yeah, no. So yeah, that this was an awesome space. This was an awesome flipping space. But our time is up, 90 minutes, because if we don't cap it, it's gonna go on for hours. And I know you guys don't wanna. You guys are having probably an awesome weekend. We don't want to take too much time of your weekend. So, sheesh. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all for speaking, all the speakers. And until next week, and I think next week we'll talk about another all-time high. Hopefully, I don't know. Let's see. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be flipping awesome. So
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Fa, for assisting. Actually, this was your idea, actually, but this is awesome. Thanks. This is great. And yeah, we'll see you guys.
Thank you.
See you, Joseph.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. See you guys, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye. Sheesh. So that was that on X. Now we're here on YouTube. Sheesh moments. Like, wow, we're almost heading 2 flipping hours. You guys have some questions. I want to get down to it a little bit before I head out too. But wow, this is why for now on, every Saturday, Spaces, I will be doing these recording lives, because taking it and editing it and putting it on YouTube, it'll take some time. It's easier just to do the live, and I'll timestamp it so everyone can go back and watch it wherever they think that they want to watch. So we were talking about Plaid Airways. Jimmy is asking if it's Robo Air Taxi, which wouldn't be ruled out, like a smaller version of a airline or an aircraft that can take you places around the world. Well, maybe not around the world, depending on if it's electric and they have the charge, why not? My God, my brain hurts. But maybe. I mean, this could be locally. I think that'd be a good idea, like all over Canada, United States. That'd be a sheesh moment. Do you see Tesla pull back to 340s? Well, I do see a pullback in January, because now nobody's selling right now because they don't want to pay taxes, the tax reasons. But in January, I think people will sell. We'll see some correction. And usually January is not really a strong month anyways. Nonetheless, though, it won't be much of a correction. 340s, I think we need some bad news for that to happen. But I wouldn't rule that out. I mean, 340 is the next 240. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But wait, let's see what happens in January. But I do with a massive run up like this, I do expect some pullback, maybe in the high 300s at least, right? That's what I expect. When will Tesla SpaceX IPO? When does it? Are you a buyer of SpaceX? Heck, I am a buyer. The only time that I'm not going to be all in Tesla stock is when Elon posts another company of his as IPO, whether it's SpaceX, Starlink, those things. You just can't bet against Elon. You just can't. SpaceX is that, and there's your rocket, my man. Here we go, 100%. Heck yeah. There has to be a pullback before it breaks. Yeah. Well, really? Well, let's see. I mean, we're less than $20 away from all-time highs in terms of the stock price, which is a sheesh moment. Digital PL, love it. So thank you guys for joining. That was a sheesh moment. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Hit subscribe if you guys want to support this channel. There's a whole bunch of links in the description, but there's a join button. $2 a month. You guys get exclusive videos. Well, I'm going to start that next week, as well as early access to new videos that come out most of the time. But I am going to be making exclusive videos just for YouTube, from YouTube members. And this will be happening next week or so. So yeah, that's going to be flipping excited. I'm excited about that. But expect daily uploads from me regularly. If you're not a member, that's fine. It's just the member stuff is just extra stuff. You get extra things. So that's a sheesh moment, and I hope you guys enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, which is gonna be very spicy because, man, this week was a sheesh moment. It was a sheesh moment. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in, and I try to make these live sessions once or twice a week, especially on big event days like earnings or delivery reports, which that's going to be coming next, first couple of days of January. But anyways, I can talk on forever and ever. I love you guys so much. Smash that like button, and I'll see you guys in the next video, which is tomorrow. See ya. Love y'all. Let's go. Sheesh.